The battlefield was silent. Dead ships floated in space. Burnt metal, shattered hulls, and drifting bodies told the story of a brutal war. The stars above watched like cold eyes, showing no mercy, no warmth. Only silence remained. Commander Varkan of the Zarnath Empire walked across the wreckage of his own fallen. His long cloak dragged over broken steel and alien bone. His soldiers moved carefully around him, scanning, collecting, recording. But Varkan wasn't looking for salvage. He was looking for truth. The galactic war had ended here, at the edge of the neutral zone. Hundreds of species had fought on this front. Yet no one knew how it had ended so suddenly. All ships from both sides had gone dark. No signal, no data, no survivors. Just silence. Until now. "Sir," called one of the scouts, voice shaking. "We found a life form." Varkan turned, his 6 glowing eyes narrowing. "Alive?" he asked. The scout nodded. "Yes, barely." They moved fast. Inside a broken Terran dropship, crushed between asteroid fragments, they found him. A human. He was tall for his kind, muscular but not massive. Dressed in black military armor, though much of it had melted into his skin. His face was bruised, blood trailing from his mouth. One of his arms was bent the wrong way, but he was breathing, slowly, steadily. Commander Varkan stepped forward, studying the unconscious figure. Then his eyes locked on something. Something burned into the human's chest, clear even under the cracked armor. A scar, not a wound. Not a random burn. A mark. It twisted like fire. Sharp angles met smooth curves. It had no pattern Varkan could name. But he had seen it before. Long ago. Deep in the forbidden archives of the Zarnath High Temple. He had seen that exact same symbol, floating above a burning star. It was called the Mark of the Void. It should not exist. It should have died 30,000 years ago with the Scar Empire. But here it was. On human skin. And the human was alive. "Secure him," Varkan ordered. "But sir," the soldier whispered, clearly afraid, "if that's really the Mark of the Void." "I said secure him." Varkan shouted. They wrapped the human in a containment field, stronger than steel, resistant to psychic pressure. A weapon of war made to hold gods. The mark glowed once, then dimmed. They took him to their ship. Inside the Zarnath capital ship Dreadspine, the human was placed inside an observation chamber. Dozens of cameras and sensors watched him. Medical drones floated above, scanning his vitals. Heart rate, normal. Brain activity, active. Cell repair, accelerated. He was healing. Commander Varkan stood with his science team. "No translator works," one said. "His mind blocks all input." "The scar interferes with psychic scans," said another. "It's not just a scar," Varkan said. "It's a seal." The room fell silent. Varkan continued. "Long ago, a galactic empire called the Scar ruled the stars. Their final years were filled with madness. Entire planets vanished. Suns collapsed without warning. Some said it was war. Others said it was a curse. "And that symbol?" the scientist asked. Varkan nodded. "It was last seen hovering above the ashes of a dead system, before our kind even discovered fire." Later that night, inside the ship, something changed. The lights in the human's chamber flickered. Alarms triggered. All security systems failed for 6 seconds. When they came back on, the human's eyes were open. Varkan rushed to the chamber. The man inside didn't move. He just stared, calm, still, like a statue carved from flesh. One eye was bruised shut, but the other glowed faintly. Not human glow. Not biological. It was unnatural. Varkan activated the "come. Can you hear me?" The human didn't respond. "Do you know where you are?" Still no response. Then the human whispered. One word. No translator decoded it. Not Zarnath, not Terran, not any of the 14 known galactic languages. Just one sound. But when he said it, the ship trembled. Every light dimmed. Every sensor failed for exactly 4.4 seconds. That all returned to normal. Varkan's voice was steady, but his hands trembled. What did he say? He asked. One scientist shook his head. We don't know. But the word matched a frequency we found once. Where? Varkan asked. The Void Archive. A planet that never existed. A record that had no author. The next day, a team of high-ranking officials arrived. They had been sent by the Council of Nine, the rulers of the United Species. They viewed the human from a distance. This is impossible, said the Arkan ambassador. That scar is outlawed. Hissed the Siren matriarch. He must be destroyed, said the Glavan warlord. No, Varkan interrupted. If we kill him, we may never know what he is, or where he came from, or if there are more like him. The room went silent. That night, alone in the viewing chamber, Varkan stared at the human again. The scar seemed deeper now, like it was growing, like it was alive. Suddenly, the human blinked. He looked at Varkan and smiled, a slow, calm, knowing smile. Varkan stepped back. Then, without warning, the scar glowed bright, blinding. A shape formed in the air. Floating lines of red energy. It wasn't just a symbol anymore. It was a map floating in the center of the chamber. And in the center of the map was a star system. Dead. Cold. Forgotten. And now, blinking with life. Across the ship, alarms screamed. Sensors picked up a signal from that system. A voice. Old, rusted, digital, but clear. Transmission to Commander Nathan Cole, if you are alive. The seal is broken. They are waking up. Everyone froze. The human's name. His name was known by something 40,000 light years away. How? Later, Varkan stood with his science team. He's not just marked, said the chief tech. He's connected. Connected. To what? Varkan asked. To something outside our known universe. Another paused. Commander, what if he's not the danger? What if he's the lock? Back in the chamber, Nathan Cole, the scarred human, sat still, eyes closed now, breathing steady, but the scar pulsed, and in that pulse, a pattern formed, not random. Not chaos, a message, and one of the young techs decoded it. His eyes widened. He whispered, it says, we are not coming. We're already here. The ship shook again. It was the third time in 2 hours. Commander Varkan stood in the control room of the Dreadspine, watching readings flicker across the screens. The technicians around him looked confused, even scared. These aren't attacks, one of them said. They single quotes read. Pulses. From where? Varkan asked. The tech swallowed. From him. From the human. Inside the secure chamber, Nathan Cole, still silent, still scarred, sat on the floor. He had not moved for hours, but the scar on his chest had started glowing in patterns. It pulsed like a second heart. With each beat, systems across the ship flickered, gravity shifted. Light bent for a second before returning. The science team stood outside the glass wall, unsure what to do. Dr. Yaltek, a psychic specialist, stepped forward. I'm going in, he said. That's not a good idea, said one guard. He hasn't moved. He hasn't spoken. If he's linked to whatever is happening, we must understand how. He entered the chamber. Yal Tech sat down across from Nathan, about 10 feet away. The human didn't even look up. Can you hear me? Yaltek asked. Silence. I want to understand the mark. The symbol on your chest. It doesn't belong in this time. It doesn't belong anywhere. Yet, it's on you. Why? Still no response. Yal Tech closed his eyes and reached out with his mind. He tried to form a link, a harmless psychic connection. Like knocking on a locked door. But what he touched wasn't a door. It was a gate. Gate made of black fire and living metal. And it was already open. Yal Tech screamed. He fell backward, bleeding from his nose, ears, and eyes. His heart raced as if it was being pulled by invisible claws. Security rushed in and dragged him out. Later on the medbay bed, shaking and weak, he whispered, "I saw them. I saw the ones behind the scar. They are not gods. They are not demons. They are older." "Older than what?" someone asked. "Older than time." Commander Varkin watched the footage again. Yaltek's brainwaves spiked the moment he connected. His mind had touched something outside reality. Why is he still alive? The Glavan ambassador growled during the next council meeting. "Destroy him before it spreads." "He's a signal, not a source," Varkin replied. "Killing a signal won't stop the storm." "What storm?" Varkin looked at the map the scar had created. "The one that's already started." Back on Earth, at a secret Terran archive hidden beneath the Himalayan ice, alarms had triggered 2 days ago. Terran AI named Oracle X7 scanned the unknown signal coming from deep space. Its sensors recognized something impossible. Nathan Cole. Status: missing in action. Last seen: classified operation. Dark Veil. Subject has activated the Omega Scar, the AI said. And across Earth, underground bunkers opened, codes unlocked. 1. Phrase repeated across military networks. Scar-bearer identified. Begin contingency protocol 09X. Return of the Black Flame. Meanwhile, inside the Dreadspine, a scan drone entered the human's chamber. It was a floating orb, designed for deep scans. It hovered near Nathan and projected blue light over his body. The scar reacted instantly. The light turned red. Then the drone cracked and exploded. 3 scientists monitoring the feed were hit by shrapnel. 1 died instantly. The others screamed in pain. Nathan didn't move, not even a blink. The command deck was in chaos. "We cannot study him. He's rejecting technology. He's absorbing energy. How do we contain this?" Varkin stood still. "What if the scar is not rejecting us?" he said, slowly but measuring us. Later that night, Nathan's chamber went dark, not failed. Like light itself refused to exist inside it. Security arrived in seconds. Lights flickered as engineers worked to restore power. Then, without warning, the chamber's glass wall shattered outward, not inward. Smoke filled the hallway. Nathan Cole stepped out. No weapon, no armor, just a glowing scar on his chest. And calm, steady footsteps. Soldiers raised their guns. "Stand down!" Varkin shouted. "Do not fire!" The air was cold, too cold. Frost formed on the walls. Nathan stopped. He raised his hand and spoke. Same strange word from before, this time louder. Suddenly, time slowed. Everything moved like thick syrup. Soldiers froze mid-step. Sparks hung in the air like frozen stars. Varkin felt his breath catch in his throat. He saw the human clearly now, not just human, something more, something rebuilt. A survivor of a forgotten program. A soldier scarred by ancient hands. And then time snapped back. Nathan collapsed, unconscious again. They placed him in a new containment field deep in the ship's core, where nothing could reach. Varkin called a private meeting with his top officers. He showed them the video again. This was not human technology, he said. This was older, pre-universe. This was engineered into him. Engineered by who? His second-in-command asked. I don't know. But whoever they were, they used humans as carriers. Another officer whispered, he's not the danger. He's the weapon. Somewhere far across the galaxy, in the dead system shown in the SCAR's map, a strange machine lit up. It was massive like a fortress. Made of bones and stars. It came alive for the first time in 30,000 years. And from its core, a new signal launched toward Earth. Not a warning, a greeting. Back in the medbay, Nathan woke up. A female Zarnath soldier named Sarah was on guard. She aimed her rifle at him. He didn't flinch. Why are you here? She asked. Nathan looked at her. This time, he spoke simple English. I didn't choose this. Sarah blinked. You can speak? I remember now, he said. Pieces, not all. But enough. What are you? Nathan touched the scar. I was part of something, long ago. Before Earth knew what space really was, we found something. Buried in ice, it looked like a door. And you opened it? Nathan shook his head. No, we tried to close it, but it marked us. Who is us? Nathan looked at her, eyes dark. I wasn't the only one. Commander Varkin reviewed the audio from Nathan's words. Every race in the council wanted to know one thing. Were there more like him? The truth? Yes, and they were waking up. The stars around the Dreadspine ship flickered like dying candles inside the command center. Everything was quiet, too quiet. Commander Varkin stood still, watching a single glowing dot on the screen. That dot should not exist. It belonged to a dead system. A place that had not sent any signal in over 30,000 years. And yet, now it spoke. A new signal had arrived. It was soft at first. A whisper. Like static or wind. But then it changed. A voice came through. A voice calling just one name. Nathan Cole. Everyone in the control room froze. The alien officers looked at each other. The comms technician trembled. That signal. She whispered. It's coming from Sector 0 Void Zone. That area was declared dead before we even discovered fire. Varkin leaned forward. Play it again, the voice repeated. Nathan Cole. If you hear this, the gate is unstable. The others are waking up. You must return to the source. The signal ended. Silence followed. But no one dared speak. In the lower levels of the ship. Deep inside the containment chamber, Nathan Cole opened his eyes. He had heard it too. Even through walls, shields, and energy barriers. He sat up slowly. His scar was glowing again, but this time, it wasn't red or blue. It was black. A strange, shifting black. Like it pulled light inward. Sarah, the Zarnath soldier guarding him, took a step back. You heard it, she said quietly. Nathan nodded. It was her voice. Her? He looked at her, eyes heavy. A scientist. From Earth, one of the first people who touched the void. She was Mark II. But she died in the blast. Then how did she send a signal from a dead star system? Nathan closed his eyes. Because nothing ever really dies in the void. Varkin met with the council via secure transmission. They were angry, afraid. That human is a beacon, said the Siren matriarch. He calls to the void. He must be destroyed before others like him wake, shouted the Glavan warlord. But Varkin stood firm. Or he might be the only one who can stop them. The room went quiet. Varkin continued. What if these beings, these creatures behind the scar, are not just coming, but have already started shaping reality through him? A soft voice broke the silence. It was the Arkan ambassador. There are records, she said. Old ones from before our time. They spoke of humans not as a primitive race, but as seeds, carriers of forgotten power. Later that cycle, Nathan was moved. Not to a prison. To a command room. Varkin wanted answers. He sat across from the human, studying him like a puzzle with missing pieces. What are the others the message mentioned? Nathan spoke slowly. When we opened the gate on Earth, we thought it was just a ruin. An old artifact. Something dead. But it wasn't. It was sleeping. And the scar? It's a piece of them. A lock. A key, a tracker. I don't know everything. But I know this, when it glows, something nearby responds. Are there more of you? Nathan didn't answer right away. Then he said, 7 of us were marked. I was the 3rd, the others. He stopped. What? I don't think they stayed human. Somewhere in deep space, light-bent stars moved. A black structure the size of a moon began to rotate for the first time in millennia. From within its hollow core, 7 shapes floated out, silent, dark, and awake. Each one had a different scar, glowing across their bodies, and they were heading toward known space. Back on the Dreadspine, Varkin watched the map update. Something was coming. Fast. We're detecting 7 high-energy signatures, said the tech. Speed, FTL-12. Origin, dead system. Direction, this sector. They're coming for him, whispered Sarah. No, Nathan said. They're coming because of me. Later, alone with Sarah, Nathan explained more. I was just a soldier. Normal, one of many, until the dig site. We uncovered the void gate beneath Antarctica. The first scar appeared there. It burned through our minds, through time. You saw the future? No, I saw the origin of war. Sarah sat down beside him. Why you? Nathan didn't know. Or didn't want to say. He simply answered, maybe we were just close enough to bleed. The ship shook violently. Alarms screamed. The 7 objects had arrived. They stopped just outside weapon range. But they didn't attack. Instead, they sent a signal, not a message, not a threat. A sound like a song made of pain and fire. And Nathan began to scream. His body twisted. The scar stretched across his chest and up his neck. His arms shook. Eyes turned pitch black. Get him out of here. Someone shouted. But Nathan's feet left the ground. He began to float. And then he spoke. Not in English. Not in XRNeth. In a voice that echoed from beyond this reality. I am the woken one. I carry the seal. The gate is breaking. Suddenly, Nathan collapsed. Smoke rose from his skin. He was unconscious, but alive. The 7 scar-bearers outside were now waiting. In a secret room on Earth. The last surviving founder of the Void Project sat in a dark lab. His face was half machine, half man. He watched the transmission from the Dreadspine. He smiled. He survived, he whispered. They always come back. A young technician approached. Sir, shall we initiate the override? No, he said coldly. Let them wake. The galaxy forgot who we really are. Let them remember through pain. Back in the Alien Council chamber, panic spread. They are already here. They will destroy us all. Varkin stood tall. We created alliances to survive wars. This is a war of existence. If we fight each other now, we all die. So what do you suggest? The Glavan asked. Varkin looked at the star map. I follow the scar. He returned to Nathan's room. The human was awake again. Tired. Hurt. But clear. You saw them, Nathan said. Varkin nodded. They are the others? Yes, they were human once. Now they're weapons. Can they be stopped? Nathan looked straight into his eyes. Only if I reach the source. Where is it? Nathan touched his chest, where the scar was born. The galaxy was watching. Every major power, every small colony, every starship from 100 different species had noticed the change. The calm that had lasted for centuries was breaking. Whispers of fear and confusion spread like wildfire. Something was coming. Something old. Something deadly. On the bridge of the Dreadspine, Commander Varkin stared at the star map. Red blips pulsed faster and faster. 7 unknown ships, heading straight toward the heart of the neutral zone. Speed unknown. The technician said nervously. They're faster than anything we've seen before. Varkin's eyes narrowed. They're coming for the Scarbearer. In the High Council chambers of the United Species, arguments filled the air. The Glavan warlord slammed his fist on the table. We must destroy Earth before these weapons, these monsters wake fully. The Siren matriarch hissed. If the Scarbearer is allowed to live, the entire galaxy will fall. The Arcan ambassador, calm but firm, said, We cannot fight each other now. The true enemy is awakening beyond our reach. Varkin watched the chaos unfold. He knew the galaxy was on edge, and no one knew what to do. Deep inside Earth, the government's secret bunkers were preparing. Special forces trained day and night. Scientists worked on unknown technology recovered. From the Void Gate site, the AI Oracle X7 processed data, nonstop. One phrase repeated in every report. The scar is a warning. The scar is a key. The scar is a curse. But no one understood the meaning yet. On the dread spine, Sarah watched Nathan Cole. His body had changed since the last time she saw him. The scar had spread from his chest down his arms and up his neck. It pulsed with black energy. His eyes sometimes flickered with the same dark glow. He was no longer just human. He was becoming something else. Nathan's voice was quiet, almost distant. "They are close," he said. "I can feel them. The others marked like me, but twisted, broken by the power." Sarah asked, "Can you stop them?" Nathan shook his head. "I don't know, but I have to try." Varkin entered the room and interrupted. "We will help, but we must act fast." Across the galaxy, alien fleets gathered. Planets formed defensive alliances. Space stations increased patrols. Fear was everywhere. But no one had answers. Suddenly, alarms blared across the dread spine. The 7 ships had entered weapon range. But they didn't attack. They hovered silently, like shadows waiting in the dark. Varkin ordered all weapons ready, but nothing fired. Instead, a new signal appeared. It was a voice, not threatening, not demanding. But full of sorrow. "We are the forgotten. We are the lost. We were once human, but we were changed." The voice continued. "The scar binds us. The scar destroys us. But it also remembers. We seek the source, the one who wears the mark." The bridge was silent. No one moved. Nathan stepped forward, his scar glowing brighter. "I am the one," he said. The ships pulsed with light. Suddenly, one opened a channel. A figure appeared, dark, shadowed, but human. His eyes burned with power and pain. "I am Caldair," the figure said. "The first scar-bearer. You carry the burden. Now you must lead us." Varkin clenched his fists. "This isn't a threat?" Caldair smiled sadly. "No, it is a warning. The void grows stronger. The galaxy will break unless we unite." The news spread fast. Some called it a peace offer. Others called it a trap. The truth was darker. The scar-bearers were rising, and with them, the ancient power. Back on Earth, the last pieces of the Void Gate puzzle were falling into place. Nathan's memories returned in fragments. He saw visions of the past. A secret war fought under the ice. Humans transformed against their will. Power given and taken. The scar was not just a curse. It was a weapon, a prison, and a key. On the dread spine, Nathan turned to Varkin. "If I fail, the galaxy dies." Varkin nodded. "We fight together." The galaxy waited. On edge, breath held, for the war that was coming. The war of the scar. The war of forgotten stars. The cold light of distant stars reflected off the steel hull of the dread spine. Inside, tension gripped everyone. The scar on Nathan. Cole's chest burned like never before. It wasn't just a mark. It was awakening. Commander Varkin sat in the war room, surrounded by maps, holodisplays, and data streams. "They say this war ended 30,000 years ago," he said quietly. "But something has returned." Dr. Yaltek, recovering from his psychic attack, nodded weakly. "The scar is more than a symbol," Yaltek said. "It is a key, a weapon, a memory." Varkin looked at Nathan, who stood silently nearby. "Tell us what you remember," Varkin urged. Nathan's eyes darkened. "It was not always like this," he began. "Long ago, before humans knew the stars, we found the Void Gate." Nathan's voice carried across the room as he told the story. The Pasti Void Gate was buried beneath the ice of Earth, an ancient portal older than any history book. It was a door to something beyond time. A door? Yaltek repeated. Nathan nodded. "We didn't understand it. But when we touched it, it marked us. The scar appeared, on me and others." The room fell silent. "Who are the others?" Varkin asked. Nathan's face grew grim. "They were soldiers, scientists, explorers, 7 in all, each marked with the scar." "And what happened to them?" Nathan swallowed hard. "They changed. The power inside them grew, but it corrupted them. They became something else. The holomap shifted to show a dead system. Their home system was destroyed. The void consumed it. They disappeared into darkness. Varkin looked down. We thought this was a forgotten war, but it was never over. Nathan said quietly, "The scar is waking them." Suddenly, the ship shook violently. An alarm blared. Enemy ships approaching. The technician shouted. On the main screen, 7 vessels appeared, dark and twisted. Unlike anything in known space. Their engines pulsed with a strange black energy. Nathan stepped forward, eyes glowing faintly. "They are the scar-bearers, the others. They want me." Varkin turned to his officers. "Prepare for battle. Shields up, weapons ready." The crew scrambled. The battle began with a silent rush. The scar-bearers moved fast. They struck like shadows. The Dreadspine rocked under the force of their attacks, but it fought back fiercely. Nathan focused. He felt the scar's power rising inside him. His muscles ached with energy. His mind was sharp. He reached out with his thoughts toward the others. They answered. A strange connection formed. The scar was a link between them, but the connection was unstable. Pain and anger flowed through it. On the bridge, Varkin shouted, "Hold the line!" The crew pushed forward, but the enemy was relentless. Suddenly, Nathan screamed, a sound filled with both pain and strength. His scar flared with blinding light. The energy exploded outward in a wave. Enemy ships faltered. One of the scar-bearers shouted through the voice distorted, "You cannot stop what was started." Nathan gritted his teeth. "I don't want to stop it. I want to end it." The battle raged for hours, ships destroyed, lives lost, but finally, the Dreadspine emerged victorious. The enemy ships fled into the darkness. Varkin approached Nathan. "You survived." Nathan looked tired but determined. "This war, it's only just beginning." The crew gathered in the war room. Plans were made. Alliances sought. The galaxy had to prepare. The scar-bearers were real, and they were returning. Meanwhile, deep beneath the ice on Earth, the ancient void gate pulsed. A faint glow spread across its surface, a warning. Promise. The forgotten war was coming back. The galaxy was on the edge of collapse. Alien empires gathered fleets. Planets locked down defenses. Everyone waited for the final storm. Commander Varkin stood on the bridge of the Dreadspine. He stared at the star map. Countless red dots appeared, human and alien ships gathered near Earth's sector. "They fear what the scar-bearer will become," said Sarah quietly. Nathan Cole, the man with the scar, stood nearby. His body was changing fast. The black scar had spread like living ink. It pulsed with power. Nathan touched the scar on his chest. "I feel it," he said. "It's growing inside me." Varkin nodded. "We must be ready. They want to stop you before you become what you are meant to be." Across the galaxy, the alien fleets launched. They called it the final strike. Thousands of warships moved in silence. The target was clear. Earth. On Earth, people prepared for war. Civilians hid underground. Military forces scrambled. Unknown. Weapons were deployed. Nathan trained every day. He pushed his body. He tested his limits. The scar controlled more than his strength. It controlled his mind. One night, Nathan woke in sweat. A voice echoed in his mind. "Lead us," it said. "Be the weapon. Be the shield." Nathan screamed. Sarah found him in the training room. "You are not alone," she said. "We will fight this together." Nathan nodded. But inside, he feared losing himself. The day came. The alien fleets appeared in Earth's orbit. A dark storm of ships surrounded the planet. Varkin led the defense. "Hold the line," he shouted. The Dreadspine launched its fighters. Nathan stood on the bridge. His scar burned bright. He raised his hand. Energy pulsed from his skin. The battle was brutal. Ships exploded in fire. Lasers cut through the dark. Nathan felt the scars. Power surged. It gave him strength beyond any human. His body moved faster. His mind was sharp, but the scar had a cost. Each use drained him. Each moment brought him closer to losing control. Suddenly, a massive enemy warship appeared. Its weapons charged. It fired a blast straight at Earth. Nathan acted fast. He stepped forward. Raised both hands. Energy formed around him. Like a shield, the blast hit the shield and exploded. The shockwave threw Nathan back. He hit the floor hard. Sarah rushed to him. "Are you okay?" she asked. Nathan struggled to breathe. "I'm fine," he said. "But this scar, it's changing me." The battle raged for hours. Earth's forces fought with everything they had. Nathan led the charge. In the final moments, Nathan faced the enemy commander, a scar-bearer like him, but darker. Stronger. They fought fiercely. Energy clashed. Weapons shattered. Nathan's scar flared bright. He found strength deep inside. With a final blow, he defeated the commander. The enemy retreated. The galaxy held its breath. Nathan stood tall, but he was different. The scar had changed him forever. Varkin approached. "You saved us." Nathan nodded. "But the war is not over." The galaxy knew one thing: the Scar-Bearer was both the greatest weapon and the greatest hope. The stars were quiet. After the great battle near Earth, many alien fleets had been destroyed. But silence was not peace. It was fear. Fear of what Nathan Cole had become. He stood alone on a cliff near the ruins of Earth's old capital. The sky was gray. The wind cold. Smoke still rose from distant wrecks. But Nathan didn't look at the Earth. He looked toward the stars. He knew something worse was coming. Something ancient. Something buried deep. Sarah walked beside him. "You feel it, don't you?" she said softly. Nathan nodded. "It's not over," he replied. "They were only trying to delay it." "Delay him," Sarah frowned. "Him?" Nathan's eyes were dark. "There's another Scar-Bearer. Older than me, stronger. I saw him in my dreams. He's not just marked. He created the scar." Far away, in the black part of the galaxy where no light reached, something moved. A figure floated inside. A dying star. Its body was made of black fire. Its eyes were like holes in space. It opened its mouth. But no sound came. Still, the galaxy heard it. A signal crossed star systems. A warning. A challenge. "Commander." Varkin stood on the bridge of the Dreadspine. His alien skin twitched as the ship trembled. "What was that?" an officer asked. Varkin stared at the strange energy on the screen. "A scar pulse," he whispered. "But ancient." He quickly contacted Earth. Nathan stood still as he listened. The scar on his chest glowed. "It's him," he said. "He's awake." A council was held, the last one. Humans, aliens, survivors. Everyone sat in silence. They looked at Nathan. He didn't speak like a man anymore. He spoke like something more. "The scar is not a curse," he said. "It was a seal, a prison. And it's breaking." Some wanted to run. Some wanted to hide. But Varkin stood. "If we run, he'll find us. If we hide, we die. The only way is to follow Nathan." Nathan stepped forward. "I need to go to the center of the scar," he said. "Where it began, where he waits." Sarah's hand gripped his arm. "I'm going with you." The ship Dreadspine left Earth behind. It entered the dark sector, the place where stars had died. No light. No sound. Only cold. Nathan sat in silence. The scar pulsed in time with his heartbeat. Every second, he felt memories. Memories that were not his. Worlds burning. Empires falling. A voice whispering, "You were made to destroy." Suddenly alarms. "Ship incoming," shouted the pilot. They looked outside. It was him. A giant creature appeared from the dark. Black armor covered his body. His arms were like blades. His eyes burned red. He was not flying a ship. He was the ship. Nathan. "Walk to the airlock. Open it," he said. Sarah stared in fear. You can't fight him alone. I'm not alone, Nathan replied. He opened the hatch and jumped into space. There was no sound in the void, only light and motion. Nathan flew toward the creature. The scar on his body glowed white. The battle began. The creature swung an arm. Blade of energy shot out. Nathan dodged it and countered with a blast from his palm. The creature caught it and laughed. You are weak, it said. You are me, unfinished. Nathan's face turned pale. You're lying. No, I am your future, the creature said. I was born from war. I destroyed gods. I ended time, and now you will take my place. Nathan screamed and rushed forward. Their powers collided. Explosions shook nearby planets. The Dreadspine struggled to stay in orbit. Sarah watched in horror. Nathan! She shouted, but he couldn't hear her. Inside the storm of battle, Nathan was losing. The creature hit him again and again. Blood floated into space. Nathan's body cracked with power. I can't. He gasped. The voice in his mind whispered. Again, let go. Stop fighting it. Become what you are. He closed his eyes and let go. Suddenly his body glowed brighter than the sun. His scar spread across his chest. Arms, face. But this time, it didn't twist him. It lifted him. His voice echoed across space. You were the past. I am the future. He struck the creature with all his strength. A beam of white light cut through the dark. The creature screamed. No. You were supposed to become me. But Nathan had changed the path. He was no longer marked to destroy. He was chosen to protect. With one final blow, Nathan crushed the creature's chest. Its body broke into black dust. The scar on Nathan's chest turned silver and faded. Silence returned to space. But it was different. Now peaceful, calm. Nathan floating back to the ship. Sarah met him at the airlock. She hugged him tightly. You did it, she said. Nathan looked at the stars. No, we did. The galaxy changed after that. No more scar-bearers came. No. More voices in the dark. Just quiet and rebuilding. Years passed. Nathan never forgot the war. The pain, the power, or the price. But he smiled more now. And when children asked him, were you really a monster once? He would answer, no, I was just a man who chose a better path.